I'm glad you're here. I'd like to get your opinion on something. I forgot to do something last stream, right? Which was review the new Ghostbusters.
Right.
Have you seen it yet?
I have, yes.
Okay, fine. So I saw people bitching about it, and there's things to bitch about, but I think I'm quite excited. I like Ghostbusters, and I like the Ghostbusters Afterlife. So let's have a look. It takes too long to get going, right? That's my first. I want to see Dan Aykroyd already. I want to see a proton pack.
I'm telling you, it's going to be another hot one out there. In fact, there are heat alerts in effect for New Jersey, feeling like 100 degrees.
Yeah, again, well, where the hell are I? Okay, too late. So when it got to this part, I thought this was a Godzilla Cloverfield. But when's Godzilla -1 coming out in England? That looks awesome.
I don't know. It does look good, doesn't it?
It really looks like it absolutely nails Godzilla.
Well, anyway, let's carry on with this. We can talk about that in a minute, yeah.
What is that?
Is that a British voice?
That's to say, this looks scarier than Ghostbusters normally is.
I don't think so. I've got a lot of problems
like
with this.
I mean, like, I'm surprised more people haven't been impaled on it.
Yeah, I've got a problem with this.
Okay, that's a good intro that you know you're in Ghostbustersville now.
For the first time in New York history, people froze to death in the middle of...
By the way, this actress, Carrie Coon, freaking awesome. Anything she's worth watching in there. Do you ever see the show The Leftovers?
No.
Okay, it's a real. Oh, you're a big Christian, right? Right? You might go to church. You would love this show, right? It's a real slow burn. It's on HBO. It's essentially 2 or 3% of the world vanishes. Like,
yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
It's okay. It's up until the last episode, it was very good, right? But in terms of theology and getting Christopher Eccleston in it, he's brilliant in it. He's actually better in the second season. But she's in it, and man, does she give a tour. So I like Carrie Coon. Carrie Coon is good sign for anything.
Middle of July.
What is it?
I can't stand him though. Like really,
they're ticking the boxes. They're ticking the boxes.
He's also like just so super woke, and he's in everything he's in. He fails horribly. It fails horribly. So hopefully his time is nearly over in Hollywood. One can only hope.
The death chill. The power to kill by fear itself. Your veins turn to rivers of ice. Your bones crack.
Now, as I say, I kind of like this idea of bringing the original ones in as like consultants, right? They're in like one. And did you see Afterlife?
I did. Yeah, it was okay.
It was a bit. It wasn't like the original ones. It was more of a slower movie. But the scene at the end when he had Howard Ramis brought back to life, that was beautiful, right? That was just.
Do you know who they got to play him though?
Who?
So the director wanted an actor to do it rather than just a stand-in, so they can do the CGI over him. So they got the guy that was in Shawshank Redemption, who played the warden. They got him to play Howard Ramis.
Oh, that's a real actor.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the guy who shoots himself in the end.
Yes, they got him so they did CGI over him to make him Howard Ramis. I mean,
honestly, that's what you need for good CGI. Like, I've had this idea for a while that if they remounted the like Marco Polo, right? You remember when they did the Mission to the Unknown? They had college kids do it a couple of years ago. Yeah. They remounted Marco Polo in exactly the same way, and you have something like Stephen Noonan who does the first Doctor on audio. His performance is he doesn't sound like a dead ringer for him, but he understands the Hartnell's performance in such a finite detail. I think if you did that, and then you could swap his face for Hartnell's face using deep fake it, and you could put in Hartnell's original dialogue as well and lip sync it. Right, it would be perfect reconstructions.
I mean, technology is getting so. I mean, they've got these apps now on phones that you can put it on your face, and you could be 10 years younger. Have you seen that app?
Oh yes, I have.
It's crazy.
Unfortunately, I tried it with me, and I'm still a fat bastard.
But if they can do that on a phone, imagine in the next 5 years they can do it on TV and film and stuff. Do you know? So
well, I use AI liberally. I'm actually frustrated at the length of time that AI is taking to come about. Because honestly, I would love it if you could do a full 90-minute big budget movie, right, from your laptop with no actors. I think that would be incredible.
Yeah,
no, the technology is there.
Yeah, it is it's going to be more so in the next I reckon 7 years to 10.
Yeah,
it's going to be there. And they're going to anyone can do anything, I reckon, in the next 10 years. But we've got to be careful about AI because Terminator 2 and all that. So
our machine overlords will destroy us. My daughter bought a robot floor cleaner thing, right?
Oh yeah.
And I keep telling her, one day it's going to take over and it's going to be our master. It says, now you will clean.
Anyway, shall we carry on with this one?
Yeah,
Last thing you see is your own tear ducts freezing up.
See, that's scary. I like that's nice and scary.
Like literally scared to death? So cool.
So that's the other strike against it. God, I can't stand him.
Is he gay, by the way? That fella? The actor?
Yeah. See, that's awesome. I like a bit of Paul Rudd. So that looks a lot of fun to me. It feels like very much like Ghostbusters. Or actually, this new, what was it? I think they're developing their own identity. But for me, it really works. What do you think?
I don't think it works at all. I think.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I also said you are like our version of Arthur C. Clarke. Do you remember Arthur C. Clarke?
Yes.
Everything he would have on, he's like, well, frankly, I doubt it.
No. Well, look, okay, right. You can go down this route, or you can give us Ghostbusters, right? They're not giving us Ghostbusters, right? The last film wasn't Ghostbusters. It was.
No, I think it was but it was an
Kiddie Ghostbusters. No. Okay, right. So, let's look at the first one, right? I have a take on this. Okay, right. So if you bear with me, the first one shouldn't have been about the kids. It should have been Bill Murray. What you call it? Dan Aykroyd and what's his name? The other guy, the black guy. They should have went into the town because Egon was missing, right? They should have went into the town looking for Egon. That was the last place that he went through what the kids went through, find out that place with the ghost, whatever it is, found out that Gozer was coming back. The kids somehow get involved and stuff like that. The Ghostbusters stop what's happening together with the kids. That's how the film should have been, because that is Ghostbusters. The last film wasn't Ghostbusters, it was kids with ghosts. That's what they should have called it, kids with ghosts, right? It wasn't Ghostbusters, right? This one now, right, should not. Why would you put kids in a Ghostbusters and put a nuclear bloody thing on their back? Why would you do that?
Okay, first, look, you can't be too pedantic about the logic of Ghostbusters.
No, of course you can. You look. We want to see Ghostbusters. We don't want to see kids with proton packs on their back. We don't want to see the classic uniform red. We don't want to see the mother in a bloody Ghostbusters costume. We want to see Ghostbusters. Right.
Honestly, for me, I disagree. Right, I disagree.
Well, okay.
I'm somebody who likes, which is weird. I like things to be experimental and progressive, and I understand a lot of the time that doesn't work, right? And the word progressive has been stolen over the last 10 years to mean completely insane, right? But you have no chance of real, true innovation without just tearing up the rule book to a certain extent. So I felt to me it felt very organically in the Ghostbusters universe. It felt like it had a different feel, right? It certainly had it was a much more of a family movie rather than a fun movie.
Ghostbusters was never a family movie. It was never for kids. Ghostbusters was for adults. Ghostbusters was made
I watched it when you to come out. 83, I was 13.
Ghostbusters was made for the Saturday Night Live humor and the adult humor. That's what it was made.
But it was made to break through to both, right?
Yeah, it did.
It did, yeah. No, I agree with you. Honestly, I think they could have used more humor in the last one. I agree with you.
The concept of the Ghostbusters, as I remember, Dan Aykroyd was saying, was that he wanted to get the best comedians to play the Ghostbusters. Originally, it was Eddie Murphy. I can't remember who else was in it, but it was these, and it was Jim Belushi. And Jim Belushi died. Eddie Murphy couldn't do it because of Beverly Hills Cop, and I think John Candy was one of them originally, right? He couldn't get them. So he settled for, I don't know, Harold Ramis is one of his best friends. And Bill Murray gave them a hard time because they didn't know he was going to turn up until the day of shoot. And he turned up, right? Because he doesn't have an agent, right? So that's what they ended up with. But the core of the idea of Ghostbusters was it was a comedy to get the Saturday Night Live or the best comedians to play the Ghostbusters.
Well, the original idea for Ghostbusters, it was they wanted to have a sanitation crew, like a very blue collar.
Yeah. No, but we're not talking. We're talking about the concept behind the concept. That's what. Right.
No, I'm saying they wanted to.
You're talking about the story.
They turned it into an origin story instead.
Yeah. But the thing is, the concept was that the story was laid down. I mean, I think it was a completely different story until the director came in and said, "Let's set it in New York," right? But original idea was to get comedians. I can't
imagine it outside of New York.
Exactly, to get comedians to play the Ghostbusters, right? So that was the original concept. The son, I don't know what Ivan Reitman's son is doing, putting kids in it. Why, if there's an actual danger to New York and things are freezing, why are you going to strap a nuclear device onto a kid? It just doesn't make any sense.
I have to see. But again, that was a joke. That was a joke line. Why worry? We're wearing unlicensed nuclear accelerators.
Yes.
What a great line. And they turned it on, and the other two back away to the corner of the elevator. That was brilliant, right? That was absolutely brilliant.
What I'm saying is that this Ghostbusters should not include the kids. This Ghostbusters should have Harold Ramis, the existing Ghostbusters. They do a job in the beginning. They find out that they're too old and they're tired, so they recruit new ones. So when they recruit new ones, it should be the best comedians that we got now, like Bill Burr and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. So that is Ghostbusters, not kids with nuclear things strapped to them. And them, in other words, right? He's taken the core of Ghostbusters and doing something completely different, which isn't Ghostbusters. That's my point.
Again, I find it. I think there is less legs for a sequel that wasn't originally planned to really mimic the previous movies. I think for sequels to really work, you've got to go in new directions. And again, sometimes it really fails, right? George Lucas's sequel trilogy was all about midi-chlorians, right? Which would have been better than what we got. I agree with you, right? But I like that first sequel Star Wars movie, right? Other than it going nowhere. Other than when they get to the end and you see Luke Skywalker, it ends, you're like, what? It just started, right?
I know.
But up until I think it was only on the second sequel movie they really screwed it up.
I think Ivan Reitman's son is so in love with what he's done. He's missing the whole point of the Ghostbusters. The Ghostbusters it's for adults, but kids gravitate towards it. 2, right? It's for comedians. We should have the top comedians playing the Ghostbusters now. We shouldn't have the kids back in it at all because it doesn't make any sense. Why would you put it? Why?
We don't apply. I think it's not fair to
Well, we can only criticize the trailer, can't we? I mean, what else can you do?
To me, the trailer was saying I was excited about. Right,
Yeah.
and so
we were excited about Star Wars: The Force Returns, whatever that one was called, until we saw it.
I like that first movie, right? Force Awakens. I do like that movie. I did like it at the time. Now, there was a lot about that really worked. The biggest failing of the sequel Star Wars is how much they absolutely hated black people. Right, every time, and it was so clear. Like for the last 5 years or 10 years in Hollywood. Whenever there's been a black person on screen, you can feel the entire production and writing team clench up, and go, like, did you ever see the Watchmen TV show?
And
brilliant,
yes,
except when they had black people in it.
I think who was the woman that was in it? She was the lead, right?
Oh god, she was awful.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, all of that stuff was awful. But you had what's his name, Jeremy Irons as Ozymandias. Oh, that was brilliant. Well, that was off the charts brilliant. I loved all of that.
Yeah.
But look, what can I tell you? Hollywood is a very sexist and racist place, and they don't like being called sexist and racist. So they pretend they're not by having lots of tokenism. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.